Hi everyone, and welcome to this presentation on web scraping made easy with Beautiful Soup 4. In this session, I am going to take you through the entire journey of web scraping from understanding what it is to using one of the most popular Python libraries using for scraping, which is Beautiful Soup. Whether you are a beginner in Python or you already know a bit about programming, this presentation will walk you through everything in a simple and practical way. By the end, you'll understand not just how Beautiful Soup works, but also how you can apply it in real world projects like price tracking, news extraction, job monitoring, dataset creation, and much more. So let's get started. To begin, let's talk about what web scraping actually is. Web scraping is the automated process of extracting information from websites. Instead of manually copying data from a web page, like copying product prices, headlines, or job listings, you write a program that fetches the web page for you and extracts exactly the information you're looking for. Think of it this way. When you visit a web page, your browser downloads an HTML file behind the scenes. Web scraping means you are doing the same thing but with the code. And once you have that HTML file, pull out the exact parts you want. As the slide mentions, it is like having a digital assistant that can read websites incredibly fast. This assistant doesn't get tired, doesn't make mistakes, and can scan thousands of pages automatically. So, why does it matter? Because it enables market research, price monitoring, news aggregation, building data sets, content analysis, automating boring tasks. Everything become programmatic, meaning once you write the code, it works automatically forever. This is why web scraping is such a powerful and in-demand skill today. So now that we know that web scraping is, let's talk about the tool we'll be using, Beautiful Soup 4. Beautiful Soup 4, often called BS4, is a Python library designed to parse HTML and XML documents. Most websites have very messy HTML, tags are inconsistent, structures are complex, and formatting is unpredictable. BS4 handles all of this chaos smoothly. Here's why BS4 is so useful. Simple parser. It transforms raw HTML into a Python object that can navigate like a tree. Elements become nodes. You can search, explore, and extract data from it. It is fast and flexible. It works with different parsing engines like HTML.parser that is built in, and XML that is more faster, and HTML5 lib which is more accurate. And finally, it is developer friendly. The syntax is extremely readable. Instead of writing long complex code, BS4 lets you search HTML with simple functions like find, find all, or CSS selectors. Overall, Beautiful Soup takes the pain out of dealing with raw HTML. There are many web scraping tools out there: Scrapy, Selenium, Playwright, Puppeteer, and more. So why choose Beautiful Soup 4? First of all, it is beginner friendly. The learning curve is slow. Even if you are new to web scraping, you can pick it quickly. Second of all, it is lightweight. It has almost no dependencies and installs instantly. It works wherever Python works. Windows, Mac, Linux, environments, servers, everything. It is very powerful. With BS4, you can search by tag name, search by CSS classes, search using CSS selectors, search based on custom filtering functions, traverse parent, child, and sibling nodes. This means even complex HTML structures become easy to navigate. And final, it is well documented. BS4 has excellent documentation and a massive community. If you ever get stuck, there are countless examples, Stack Overflow answers, and tutorials available. This combination of simplicity and power makes BS4 one of the most widely used scraping tools for Python developers. Now, coming up to installation and setup, let's go over how to set things up. To scrape a web page, we need two tools. First is BeautifulSoup4 to parse HTML, and second is Request to download the HTML from a website. You install them using pip install BeautifulSoup4 and pip install Request. Once installed, import them in Python like from BS4, import BeautifulSoup and import Request. And that's it. Setup complete. The moment you import these libraries, you're ready to fetch a web page, extract its content. Let me give you an example on my PyCharm app. So this is my web scraping project, and here I used Beautiful Soup and Request to fetch the information from a website that is bajajauto.com. Now let's talk about our first actual scraping example. Here we fetch a web page using request.get, parse the HTML using Beautiful Soup, extract all paragraphs tags, and print their text. The code look like this. So let's break it down. Response.content gives the raw HTML downloaded from the website. Beautiful Soup response. This line transforms it into a structured format. Find all P searches for every P tag, and p.getText extracts clean text without HTML markup. This tiny example shows entire scraping pipeline. And once you understand this, you can scale it to scrape almost anything. To scrape more complex websites, you need to navigate the HTML tree. Beautiful Soup gives you simple tools for this. So first is find single elements. Find and open parenthesis, and then you can insert the tag. Returns the first matching elements useful for simple things like titles, headers, or unique elements. Second, find multiple elements using the find all tag. This returns a list of matching tags, perfect for lists, product items, articles, or multiple repeated blocks. The third is accessed attributes. You can extract things like links, href, image URLs in the form of src, css classes, and IDs. And the fourth is extract text. Get text cleans everything and returns plain text. This is one of the most useful functions in BS4. These four skills are basically everything you need to navigate any HTML structure. So, we go deeper with a more practical example, scraping news headlines. Imagine we want to extract all article titles and their links. We can target a specific tag and class like headlines equals soup.findAll and h2 tag with class article title. Then loop them through this piece of code. This teaches three important real-world techniques. Using CSS class selectors. When websites structure content, they often use class names. Targeting by class is extremely common. Navigating nested tags. Here, the A tag is inside the H2. BS4 handles nested structures easily. And third is extracting tag plus attributes. You often need both the text and the link. This pattern is used in almost every real-world scraper. Beautiful Soup 4 is powerful, but it has limits. You should know both before building large projects. Advantages: it is very simple and has a readable syntax. It handles messy HTML really well. It has a great search and filtering functionality, perfect for static and non-dynamic websites, and low resource usage, works on any computer. And then it has some limitations too. Cannot execute JavaScript. If a website loads content dynamically after the web page loads, BS4 won't see it. For those cases, you need Selenium or Playwright. Website structure can change. If the site updates its HTML, your scraper might break, as your scraper will not work whenever the company or the developer of the web page will change its syntax. And also ethical and legal considerations. You must always respect the rules, terms of service, and rate limits. Scraping too fast or scraping forbidden content can get you blocked, or worse, it can be illegal depending on the website. So scrape responsibly. And finally, let's look at a real world scraping application. Beautiful Soup opens the door to a huge range of projects. Price monitoring tracks price changes from an online store. People use this to check deals, discounts, and market trends. Second, job listing. Collect job posts from multiple websites automatically. Great for job seekers or HR tools. The third is news aggregation. Build your own news reader that gathers headlines from different sources. Fourth is data collection for machine learning. Need a large data set for ML. Scrape text, images, products details, reviews, whatever you need with the help of Beautiful Soup. Fifth point is SEO analysis. Monitor competitor sites, rankings, keywords, and content. And sixth is real estate. Scrape property listings to analyze prices, locations, or trends. All these applications use the same Beautiful Soup techniques you learned earlier. So the moment you understand the basics, the number of things you can build is practically unlimited. And this brings us to the end of this presentation. We covered what web scraping is and why it's important, how Beautiful Soup works, and how you can actually apply it to real world projects. If you are just getting started with Python, Beautiful Soup is one of the easiest and most practical tools you can learn. It opens the door to data automation, analytics, machine learning, research, and much more. Thanks for watching, and I hope this presentation inspires you to build your own web scrapers and explore the power of data automation.